Hey there, everybody. Hey, today I'm sharing my screen here because today I'm talking about vision boards, and I hope I'm doing this right, and that you can see what I have up here. So this took me, honestly about 10-15 minutes last night to put together. And I'm kind of glad I did, and I want to go over it real quick, and then I'll stop sharing so you can see my happy smiling face, and we can talk more about vision boards and dreams and goals here. So what I did here was I put, you've all heard my why, and my why is to be able to provide wheelchairs that will help people stand upright from the Wounded Warrior program. So that's always front and center, and it's always there in my mind that this is why I'm doing this. Now, going to the top, you see that's my parents there. That's they came to visit me in Colorado one year. We went to the Coors brewing factory in Golden, Colorado, and managed to get them to stand still long enough for at least one picture there. To the right is my grandmother. Now, she's going to be turning 95 this year in June, so you probably won't hear much from me because I'll be going up to Indiana to see them. And then to the right there, like I said, my mom and I are very close. This was taken at the Ngorongoro crater in Tanzania in Africa. And we went there together in 2015 and spent about 2 weeks in Africa seeing, just all sorts of awesomeness. Okay, down at the bottom, yep, that's one of my goals. I want to be able to travel. Now, I've got a specific goal here of 6 out of the 7 continents. And I've got 4 continents that I've hit, and I've got 2 to go. Moving over to that nice map of the Caribbean, I have another goal of trying to hit all of those islands in the Caribbean. I've only got 2 knocked out so far, but we're off to a slow start. And then, of course, you always have the dream car and the dream house. And, I saw that picture of the house with the little waterfall coming out of it into the pool. And I love water, okay? I mean, how can you not have a name Rain and not love water? So, any dream house that I have, it's going to have a swimming pool of some sort or another. And I just thought that was really cool. So it may not be the perfect house, but the ideal is there. And then, of course, the Jaguar. I've always wanted a Jaguar, and that's my goals, okay? Now, does that mean that's all my goals? And I'm going to stop sharing here because I think you've seen enough of it. Anyway, hopefully you saw my vision board. Now, like I said, that took me about 15-20 minutes last night because I've always had everything up here, and I'm really, really bad about keeping things in my head. And that's good and bad, okay? The good thing is I have a pretty excellent memory, and people get upset with me when I call them on things, that have happened in the past. But the bad thing is when you keep it in your head, you sometimes put it on a back burner and it's not your focus. So by putting that together and putting it someplace where you're going to see it every day, like that vision board, I'm going to be putting it as the background on my computer. So when I log into it every day, that's going to be the first thing I see. And that's going to really, really, hit, your why and what it is that you're aiming for. So you have the baseline of these goals, okay? Your dreams, your vision. And it is super, super important to always keep that front and center. Now, the other thing that's super important, and like I said, the vision board, that's something that's just mine, okay? And I'm going, you add to it when you see something, on the internet, or you're out and about and you see something, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I want that too, or I want that. That's awesome. When you get to a point where you've achieved, all of these other goals, and you still, want to give back, it doesn't have to stop. Anyway, so you have this vision, okay, of this is where I am now, and this is where I want to be. And, how do I do this? So when you talk about how, and I'm going a little bit beyond well, not beyond, but when you talk about how, okay, that's when you start, the planning process, okay? But there's another little step in there before you hit that 100% plan, and that is, okay, I have all of these things that I want to do, and sometimes it looks a little overwhelming. So then you've got to start thinking about, okay, well, I can't achieve them all at once, okay? It's just not going to happen, okay? The first person you have to take care of is yourself, and because if you don't take care of yourself first, you can't help anyone else, okay? So you have what's called outcomes or destinations, okay? And so you have this vision board, and so the next thing you want to do is start plotting, destination points, maybe a timeline, okay, definitely a timeline, and start looking at a timeline of, okay, when do I realistically think I can achieve this goal? When do I realistically think that I can achieve this goal? And so you have this journey, and life is a journey, and you have these little destination points, and you set them about here, and set another one about here, and set another one, and so on. But understanding that, sometimes the journey is going to take you maybe this way, or maybe this way for a while. So you keep the destination, you keep the goal in mind, but you understand that that's not all you're there for, that's not all that you're doing, okay? So that's why you look at outcomes, and you try to focus on outcomes. And so you have, a goal, and then you have, kind of a rough plan of how I'm going to get there, okay? And the next thing that you need to think about is, okay, when you think in, black and white terms, when you are, looking at a piece of paper, it's two-dimensional. And what you need to start thinking about is, you put it on paper and you write it down, and you sometimes forget. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, always, and I'm bad at this myself, but I did write something down. I'm going to share it with you here in a little while, okay? But the first thing that you always need to do is you need to write it down, okay? If you get nothing else from this session today, get that, write it down, all right? And the second thing is put it someplace where you are going to see it every day, no matter what happens. So if you have to put it on your bathroom mirror, then put it on your bathroom mirror, okay? But put it someplace where you're going to see it every day, because this is the mistake that I've made, okay? And I told you, I keep a lot of stuff in my head. Well, you know what? The head gets full, okay? And someday I'm going to talk to you about penguins and icebergs, because that's a great analogy. But anyway, and now I've got some of you hooked, okay? But write it down, okay? Because, gentleman that I watched his video yesterday, and oh my God, he's going to hate me, talked about focus, okay? So when you're sitting there and you're having a totally horrible day, and you're like, why am I doing this? Guess what? When you have that thing written down in front of you, that's your why, and it helps you refocus on the task at hand, okay? I mean, it's just that easy. It's just that simple. So write it down. Okay, now I talk about outcomes. Now, you have a ton of stuff that you want to do in your life. I want to do, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. So you prioritize, okay? And so you prioritize your outcomes. Okay, this is number one, all right? In order to be able to start affording that house, in order to, start being able to help the family and all of this stuff, I've got to get myself out of debt. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, well, how am I going to get myself out of debt? Well, I'm going to start doing this online marketing thing. Okay, and I'm bringing up my notes here because this is very, very important. Okay, so and you don't want to have more than one or two outcomes to focus on initially. Okay, it's very important that you keep that to a minimum, or else you start losing that focus. Okay, so I worked with someone, and I mentioned him on the last session, Paul Turner. And Paul, I'm going to message you here and have you look at this stuff because I'm giving you great kudos here. All right. So, but he's the one who originally talked to me about outcomes. Okay. Who originally pointed me in this direction. Okay. So that's why I give credit where credit is due. And he's due a lot of credit, even though we haven't talked to each other in a while. He's still a big influence. So, but when I was working with him, I wrote down 2 outcomes that I wanted to achieve. Okay. The first one was succeed at online marketing. Okay. So, all right, that's kind of a broad outcome. Okay. That's, big. All right. So you got to think, what happens when I start succeeding at online marketing? Okay. So we'll get to that in a second. But, all right. So how am I going to do that? Okay. Well, I'm going to focus on these things initially. All right. And I'm going to, narrow my vision into that little tunnel, and that's what I'm going to do. So you talk about, 3 hours a day. This is what I'm going to do. Okay. And, and do a combo of, Facebook post, ads, landing pages, ClickFunnels, videos, try to get X amount of friends per day, writing articles. So it was a combo. And okay, so each day I'm just going to focus on 1 or 2 of those in my list of things to do. All right, so great, this is what I'm doing. Okay, 5 hours per week at least. That's the minimums, by the way. I'm going to focus on my personal development. And that means reading, watching blogs, watching webinars, going to live events, whatever, and put that into my timeline somehow. Okay, so you see we're getting to a point of, okay, this is the big picture. This is what I want to achieve. I want to be a success at online marketing. Okay, I'm going to spend X amount of hours a day doing this and X amount of hours a week doing this. And so we haven't really gotten to the how-to. This is still what I'm going to do. Okay. So then you've got to think about, okay, what does success mean? Okay, so let's define success. All right, so, big picture success means I'm making at least, 100,000 a year, okay, or 500 or $1 million. You need to set this for yourself of what success actually means. When you say I want to become a success at online marketing, or I want to become a successful, health and wellness coach, or a successful, technology educator, or whatever it is that you want to do, that you're good at, that you don't see it as a job, but you see it as, your passion, your life's calling, that integrates with that why that we talked about last week. Okay, that huge why, that's, blinking neon signs, Vegas lights all around it, that why. okay? Because that is your ultimate goal, okay? The money, and making the money and everything else, it's a way to keep score. It's a way to achieve that goal, okay? The money in and of itself is not the end game, okay? So you need to keep that in mind when you're thinking about your why, okay? So, I put, okay, success to me equals within the first 90 days, and you can contextualize it. I'm going to start making $10,000 a month. Okay. Here's the biggest point that I need to get across to you. Okay. Just saying $10,000 a month. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm going to make $10,000 a month. Okay. How's that going to make you feel? Okay. What do you envision when you see $10,000 a month? Okay. Are you elated? Sense of accomplishment? Are you sitting there like little butterflies in your stomach that you did this? Visualize it. See that dollar amount going up in your accounts. What else? Okay, so I made 10,000, so that means now I can put new windows in my home. Okay, so again, you got to fix yourself first. Okay, paying down those credit cards or paying off some of those credit cards. Oh my God, the sense of relief. Oh, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, what does it mean? Well, maybe I'm going to celebrate my first $10,000 month by going to Florida and hanging out on the beach, and that fruity flavored daiquiri with the umbrella in it, sitting on the beach, hearing the waves, smelling the salt, hearing the seagulls in the background. Get really, really into it and integrate all 5 senses as much as possible. So when you visualize what that success means, you're seeing it, you're feeling it, the sand under your feet, you're tasting it, that daiquiri, how sweet it is. Okay, you're smelling it. Okay, the seawater, the fresh breeze off the ocean, you're smelling it. Okay, you're hearing it, the seagulls, the waves coming up on the beach. So everything is integrated, and it hardwires itself into your head. What this means. What does it truly mean when you say, I'm making $10,000 a month now? Okay. Sink into it. Feel it. Okay. Don't just write it down, and forget. Write it down. Okay, I'm making $10,000 a month, and this is how I'm going to feel about it. Okay, this is how I think I'm going to feel about it. And then when you do it, when you do start making that $10,000 a month, okay, in the first 90 days, is the feeling what you wrote down? Is it less? Is it even more? Okay, so you can really dig in here and really get into it. Okay, making $15,000 to $25,000 a month. Oh my God, here we go. I'm on my way. I'm helping all of these people, and I can see the smiles on their faces every time they have that least little bit of success. Okay, I can hear it in their voice when they talk to me and tell me about their latest achievement. Okay, now, oh my God, look at that. I paid off my credit cards, and that money, that dollar sign, that amount just keeps going up in my bank account. And oh my gosh, hey, look, I'm debt free. All I have is my mortgage, and you know what? That's a good debt to have. I am debt free. I've paid off my credit cards, I've paid off my loans, I've paid off my car. Oh my gosh, what do I do now? Okay, get into it. Okay, get excited, because you know what? This is your life. If you can't get excited about your life, then you need to reevaluate where you are and where you want to go, and find something that gets you excited. Okay, so oh my gosh, you know what? Now I can sell this house and move into something bigger that has that swimming pool. Okay, or you know what? Hey, I can give my parents, $5,000 a month. I can just give it to them. And they can do whatever they want with it. If they want to take a trip, hey, mom, dad, see ya, have a great time. Whatever. Whatever just, get you going, okay? That's what you need to think about, okay? Man, you know what? I hate cooking. I do. I'm a decent cook. Don't get me wrong. I hate cooking. So it's like $25,000 a month. Hey, you come in and cook, my dinners for me at least. Okay, hire someone to clean your house because you hate cooking and cleaning. I mean, I don't know very many people who actually enjoy that who enjoy cleaning, but fine, and the thing of it is, you're sitting there going, oh my God, hire a cook, hire someone to clean my house. How selfish and self-involved is that? Okay. So what's the value of your time? Okay, when you start making $25,000 a month, is your time of more valuable cooking and cleaning, or is it more valuable helping more people and maintaining that level of income? Okay, what's the value of your time? All right. Is it laziness to hire someone to cook and clean? Do you really enjoy it? Okay, if it's something that you really enjoy and it helps you relax, hey, keep doing it, okay? But at some point in time, when you start achieving the success that you visualize and that you imagine and that you feel deep down in your freaking stomach, okay, then you need to visualize, okay, where's my time going to be better spent? Okay, if I'm making $25,000 a month, hey, that means that I might be going out and speaking at events. Okay, so am I really going to have time to, clean the house, take care of the lawn if I'm going to be out and about and doing this kind of stuff? Am I going to be starting my own live event, hosting my own live events? Where am I going to go? Okay, so you have, little branches that you can go out to as well, okay, and see where things go. So it's not set in stone, all right, but it's a vision of where you want to go, okay, and getting there is half the fun, okay? So, and you've got to be open to new experiences. Okay, so maybe I started making $15,000 a month or $25,000 a month, and someone invited me to go try this, and all of a sudden, oh my God, I never knew that existed until now, but whoa, what an adventure. Let's see about helping other people do this, discover this, find it. So you've got to be open to new experiences as well. So it's not written in stone, but it's there to remind you of the destinations that you have in mind. And sometimes the destination changes, okay? So sometimes you get to a point where, well, I don't need to put new windows in the home because I skipped that $10,000 a month. I started going to $25K a month, and I paid off my credit cards, driven my debt down, and now instead of putting new windows in the house, I just want to sell it and get a bigger house. Okay? So be flexible, but write it down and put it in a spot where you see it. And then if you achieve it, hey, it's a little check mark off of that, bucket list, that to-do list, because what this is, this outcome, this destination, it's a checklist. Okay? And you check it off or you don't check it off, and you're like, okay, well, I progressed to a point where I really don't need to do this, although when I initially started, I thought it was important. Okay? So just because you have a checklist doesn't mean you have to check every item off if that item doesn't suit where you are now or where you're now going. But it's a guideline. So when you have the vision board and you start looking at these outcomes and the destinations, okay, that's all very broad, okay, but it gives you your idea of, where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and for God's sakes, how you think you will feel when you achieve it. Or just think about it, imagine it, and then write down what you feel as you're imagining it. okay? You've got to be a bit of a dreamer here, okay? You've got to think, okay, if I get this house that I've wanted, okay, and I've got the swimming pool, okay, I'm jumping into this perfectly clear blue swimming pool, and the water, it's cold at first, but oh my gosh, it feels so good because it's hot outside. And now I'm going to get out of the swimming pool and I'm going to sit there at the outside table, and I'm going to drink another one of those fruity flavored daiquiris, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, totally up to you. And I'm just going to think about for a minute how I feel in the moment. How you feel in that moment. Contentment, happiness, sense of accomplishment, whatever. Okay? That's how you put together your vision board, and writing down these outcomes is a way to keep your mind engaged in the positivity of achieving those dreams and those outcomes. So write it down, be as detailed as you possibly can, and write down the things that you envision happening when you get to that point. Like I said, okay, I don't have to clean the house anymore. I have someone who's going to be coming in, at least cooking me dinner. I have professional landscapers so that I can just appreciate what I have instead of having to dig my hands into it, because I don't like doing yard work. It helps me stay in shape some, but other than that, it's not really a big big deal to me. Okay, my mom's a master gardener, so we're not completely alike. We both have the things that we like, but so what is it that's really going to trip your trigger? Okay, what is it that's going to make you happiest? What are the things that you absolutely hate doing that when you get to a point where you can afford to have someone else do it, how is that going to make you feel? Oh my God, thank you. I don't have to do this anymore. How's it going to make you feel? Okay, put all 5 senses into this. Okay, so I'm utterly happy, utterly content. I've got this cool breeze, or the cool water of the swimming pool, or the ocean, or this fruity flavored daiquiri, or I'm going to this world-class restaurant and I'm eating this amazing steak, and you can smell it and you can hear the sizzle as it's coming out of the kitchen. Put everything into it. Okay, everything. How cold is that daiquiri? The ice, is it just is it just melting, or are you getting a cold rush because you drank it too fast? Whatever is there, okay, you need to put all of your senses into this, because when you put all 5 senses into this, the more real it's going to be to you. Okay, so dream big, dream specific, and incorporate those 5 senses into it. Okay, so that's what the vision board is. That's what outcomes and destinations are about. So I hope I've helped you a little bit, and by all means, the only thing I want you guys to do is I want you to keep tuning in on these Sundays, on these Sunday sessions. And I would like your feedback, not so much to say, hey, great job, you're doing awesome, okay, but I want your feedback on, does this help? Okay, does it not help? What do you need help with? What do you want me to talk about? Okay, give me specific feedback here, because dang, doorbell just went off and I lost my train of thought there for a second. Okay, tell me what you want. All right, now I'm going to end this session, and I think I'm going to end this session each week by recommending a new book. So last week I talked about T. Harv Eker, or The Millionaire Mindset. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about another book that I've been reading. And I'm one of these people when it comes to personal development books. I'll read a couple chapters of one, and then I'll read a couple chapters of another, and so on and so forth. So I'm getting, a broad range of topics. Well, today, Dan Kennedy, Speak to Sell, and I've gotten about halfway through this book, and it's pretty awesome. Now, I'll be honest, I go to Amazon and I see a whole bunch of, I type in a specific person because, I saw them on a YouTube video or whatnot, and Amazon brings up other recommended readings, and this was one of them. So, all of us can learn how to speak better and to get our point across. So, Speak to Sell by Dan Kennedy. And I actually looked him up because I didn't know much about him. Let me tell you, he's got a series of books, and most of them start with no BS. So, no BS marketing tips, no BS this, no BS that. And so he's got a whole series of them. And like I said, I haven't checked them out yet. I've just got the one so far, Speak to Sell. But, he's a pretty straightforward writer. And so I can't imagine that his other books wouldn't be as good as this one is so far. So again, that's Dan Kennedy, Speak to Sell. You can get it on Amazon. Amazon's like my favorite place to find books, by the way. So check it out. Hope you have a great rest of Sunday, Easter Sunday. So I hope you're all having a good time with your families. And I will talk, and I'll have another one next week. And I think next week we're going to talk about a little bit more about planning. Okay, I got into it a little bit today on the outcomes, but we'll talk more about planning and how you can plan to meet your goals and try to get into a little bit more one level down in specificity. Have a great day. I look forward to talking to you more. By all means, tell me what else you want to know. Okay, seriously, guys, tell me what you want to know. And I will make sure I integrate it into either the Sunday live sessions or, I'll do a live session specifically to answer that question during the course of the week. So I'm off.